I'm Rich, this is Pen and Board, and I'm here to talk to you about my most anticipated board games of 2026. Some of these games are not necessarily new, they are just new to me, and I don't have the influence to get these things early, so I'll be getting these as and when they come out. But I am still super excited for all of these. So, let's dive in. First up is a couple of Kickstarters. My wife and I's favourite kind of horror-themed board game is actually Abomination. It's a game set in that Frankenstein Victorian era where you are collecting body parts and trying to assemble a Frankenstein's monster, while also encountering Frankenstein's monster. There's a nice little story-driven elements in there as well. However, it is a dark tone, as you will often be going to graveyards and hospitals to take the freshest of body parts, and it can be a little lengthy. So the first game I'm super excited about is Making Monsters. This takes that kind of building a monster theme and makes it slightly more fun and less dark and more light. It still has a lot of the strategic depth, and you will be basically building a bag of components, drawing from that bag, pushing your luck a little bit to see if you can get all the components you need before kind of like blowing up your workshop, and then trying to resurrect those monsters to gain victory points. All kind of leading up to a big science monster fair at the end, where you can score additional points for the monsters you've already created. It has some amazingly fun artwork with some fantastic names, and I think it's a nice, fun and family-friendly version of a game that I kind of already love. And also, who can't resist shouting, "It's alive!" while playing games? Another Kickstarter and another silly, fun card game, Goblin Party. Here you will be assembling a goblin party together with your other players to try and defeat a hero to impress war chiefs. It seems like quite a fun and strategic card game where it rewards clever decision making and timing, and the whole goal is that you want to be the one to defeat that hero with the most damage. So even though you're working together as a goblin party to defeat the heroes, you want to get that last blow to take it back to the war chief and impress them and gain victory. With a bunch of goblin cards that mixes up the order of your parties and swaps them around and does all sorts of things, as well as a large variety of heroes, I think there's quite a bit of replayability in this quite simple card game. Once again, it seems quick and fun to play, which I am all about in 2026. And I am personally a sucker for art on cards, and if I have to play the game multiple times so I can see all the cards without after just sitting there flicking through it, then I am happy to replay it, and you've got me sold. This one actually has my wife more excited than I am. To quote her, "I love cleaning things up and controlling stuff." Not quite sure what that says about me. But anyway, the next up is Night Soil. And I think that sums up the gameplay quite well. It's broken up into day and night, and during the day you will be going out and sending your workers out into Tudor London to gain patronage from patrons, to advertise your business, grow your area, and then by night you're going to be cleaning up the streets of London of night soil, or poop, because poop's funny to say, and trying to dump it into the Thames for profit. It's got a slightly unpleasant theme, but I think the mechanics seem to be really strong in this one. You've got hand management, area control, and worker placement, all working really well together with some interesting interactions. I'm really excited about this one, so I'm keen to dig in to some Night Soil. How about a two-player social deduction game? How about a two-player social deduction game where you play as vampires? How about a two-player social deduction game where you play as vampires and it gets a little spicy? Well, the next one I'm excited about is Dark Romance. You will take on the role of distinct characters trying to find profound love, or your next unsuspecting victim. While this game is 2 players, you can get a deluxe version of this game where it bumps it up to 4 players if you want to turn your vampire coupling game into a group activity. No judgment. Players go on a variety of dates and dynamic encounters to try and discover the intentions of their partner. Is your potential partner trying to pierce your heart with love, or are they trying to pierce your heart with a wooden stake? This one is going to be a perfect date night game. Social deductions, bit of romance in there. I'm fully sold on this one, and I'm really intrigued to see how a two-player deduction game actually works in play. Also, I'm interested to see if this game has the teeth for replayability. Vampires, teeth. Now, this next one's already pretty critically acclaimed. I missed out on the initial Kickstarter for this, and I missed out on any late pledges. I saw it at the UK Games Expo. It looks beautiful, the stylized card and boards and everything else. Oh, it's tasty. And this is the Old King's Crown. Now they're going for a second printing, and I am not missing out on this one because this also adds some fixes into the game as well as an expansion. So I am there for this. It seems to have some very exciting but relatively simple game mechanics with hand management, area control, playing cards, using abilities, all with the goal to gain enough influence to be crowned the next king. It also has a lot of consequences to decisions that you make, where you play a card, when you play a card, what abilities do you use, when and where. And I think that is a really interesting and strategic, meaty game that I really want to get into. This next one's a little cheeky one to put on the list because I've already got it. It's Luthier over there. I haven't played it yet, so technically it's still allowed to be on this because I am anticipating playing that soon. It is going to be one of me and my wife's first really big kind of games. We do have some smaller games as we like to play within about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to the maximum, but this is our first big dive into something really big. The theme of trying to build and repair musical instruments in the three classical eras is a really interesting one for us, and one that has the components to match that kind of style. It has a lot of different tracks to progression, and there's even like an orchestra that you can fill with your instruments and play music to gain more victory points, please patrons to get more resources as well as more points. So I am ready to get stuck into this symphony of gaming. This next one is my origin story. Arkham Horror the card game, Chapter 2. I have always loved board games, but when I seriously got into board gaming, one of the first things I bought was Arkham Horror, the card game. I didn't have a large group of friends to play with, so I mainly played this solo, and it is probably one of the only games I do play solo regularly. It was also one of the first games I invited my now wife over to play, and she didn't hate me or it. She actually loves it and is also super excited about Chapter 2. So I can't be more excited about this next chapter. It is a heavily story-based living card game where you will be playing through scenarios and chapters and to a whole campaign of story trying to survive the horrors of the Lovecraftian universes. The pedigree is here for this game, as I love all the previous and copious amounts of cards I already have for this game. So I'm really excited to see what Chapter 2 has got in offer. Apparently it's got some new revisions, some updated characters, loads of new cards, all of which are also backwards compatible as well. So this game and all of my other cards aren't irrelevant, which thankfully, because I've got quite a big stack of them. I just hope that it matches my expectations because, not gonna lie, they are pretty high for this one. My daughter loves collecting things. She loves putting them into little piles, if they're shapes or colours. So Seashells by KTBG seems like it's going to be the perfect fit for her. And I have no doubt she will love it. You comb a beach to collect a variety of different seashells of shapes and sizes and colours, and your goal is to get them all in those collections to win victory points. Now, I love shells, I love the seaside, I love collecting things, but this seems like it's going to be a winner for my family and for me and my daughter, and my wife can play as well if she wants to. The components from KBTG games tend to be really high quality, big and chunky and fun and to use as well, which is really important for family games. The boxes are also quite small, so it means that we'll be taking this maybe even to the beach if the British weather is anything to go by. We can play board games inside. Another game in a series with an amazing back catalogue, Escape the Dark Forest. Now, I've played Escape the Dark Sector, I've got it. I've played Escape the Dark Castle, I've played the Last of Us game as well. So I know that Escape the Dark blank games are really good. If you like your roguelike narrative games with some dice rolling, some decision making, some loot taking, and just that survival element, then any of the Escape the Dark blank series is a good choice for you. Just pick the flavour you want. And it seems like Escape the Dark Forest is going to be another dark string on their bow, adding in some new elements while revising some of the older ones from Escape the Dark Castle and bringing it back to that fantasy theme where you play as anthropomorphized animals. Did it right that time. Don't play all the no. Some anthropomorphized The final one on my list is coming from kind of an unknown place, but it's got the looks, it's got the mechanics, and it seems to have everything going for it, although I'm a little apprehensive about this one. And it is Vampire Lords. It seems to be a combination of deck building and area control, where you take on the role of titular vampire lords like Vlad the Impaler to try and conquer 15th century Romania. You will be playing cards, activating asymmetric abilities, all trying to conquer little villages with the main goal of conquering enough towns to control the whole of the Romanian region. You'll also be marching armies, rolling combat dice, and fighting all of your other vampire lords for that dominance. The heavy theming and the heavy stylized art is really appealing to me. I'm just a little apprehensive about how this will all play out, but I am excited to see where this goes. Right, so leave your judgments down below. Is there any games out there that you are super excited about for the 2026 release? If you like this kind of video, then please give it a like. If you want to see more kind of things from me about tabletop games, either board games or roleplay games, then please consider subscribing. It really helps. And until next time, see you later.